Hey guys, today I am going to be cooking up some of our venison we harvested this winter. I'm going to do a bone-in shoulder roast in the crock pot. So we're gonna get that started. It's a really nice snowy Ohio day, a perfect day to get a crock pot meal going. And this will make a nice hearty dinner for us for this evening. So here is a portion of a venison shoulder off a buck we got earlier this winter. When I break down the shoulder, I got 2 roasts and a shank, so that's already been trimmed. I've got most of the fat off of it that I want off of it, any bloodshot or anything like that. And just want to liberally salt all sides of the roast. I'm just using some sea salt and get some salt and pepper all up in it. You can be very liberal with that. Rub that in a little bit. More salt on here. Don't be scared of the salt. And some more pepper. So we're going to take this and brown it in a skillet on the stove. I'm going to use butter, and we have lard, so you could use butter and lard or butter and oil or whatever you want, but you want to have some nice fat to sear it in. And don't be afraid of extra fat going into the crock pot, because this is all going to go into the crock pot. Because venison is so lean, you want that added fat. So I'll heat up some lard and some butter and get that going. We'll sear it off and then we'll go from there.
It's funny because every time I'm like, oh, should I use some lard for this? I feel like we don't have very much lard, but last year when we were harvesting the pigs, which now it's last year, I realized that we had a lot of lard left from the pigs from the year before. It's so crazy, but like, you'll know and understand if you're homesteading, like you start to go into this, it's hard to accept like the abundance that this lifestyle brings.
We got those are, I think, still lard and tallow from last year.
Yeah.
Harvest. And then I've got this year, I got lard up here.
You've got lard everywhere? I didn't even know that.
That's from this year's pigs.
It takes a while to go from that like lack mindset to like the abundance that this lifestyle brings.
So while that oil is heating up, I'm going to also chop some onion and peel some garlic. So the way this is going to go, we're going to sear that off, and then with the oil and the fat that's in there, I'm going to brown some onion and garlic and put the roast in the crock pot, put the cooked onions and garlic on top of that, and then I'm going to deglaze this pan with some of our chicken bone broth and use that broth also in the roast. And last time we did this, we ended up with, at the end, not only a great venison pot roast, but a really nice wild game stock that was kind of induced with our chicken stock, and it was really, really good and flavorful. And then we took that stock and used it in a soup recipe with some ground venison, and it just like we just keep continuing to use the layers of this and deepen the flavors. It's really nice. We got a wiggly baby on there.
Uh-oh. She's moving. Oh boy.
Why would you ever need 2 crock pots jamming up your kitchen? Oh, because your wife is over there using one to make tallow soap and lotion and shampoo bars when you're ready to do a shoulder roast for dinner.
We probably could use a third one.
Okay, more crock pots.
Because one's usually dirty.
Shh, don't tell them that. So you can cut your onion however you like. My wife doesn't like cooked onions because she's a super weirdo, so I usually make my onions. They either have to be chunky enough for her to pick them out, or fine enough that they're like onion powder and she doesn't know they're in there. But with this recipe, we're gonna go with big chunky onions because they're gonna cook for 4 to 6 hours. So that's what we do.
All right, ready? Add the butter and the lard, nice and hot.
This is our garlic. I'm just scared we're gonna run out before we grow more. Because we are using it.
Yeah, we are.
We're using it in a lot of soups right now.
You know what I keep thinking is like, oh gosh, we need to save some of this to replant, and then I'm like, oh wait, it's already planted.
So with the garlic, You do it however you like, but whole cloves when you're slow cooking, or even just like maybe just crush them. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Got it. Is fine for this recipe. But I want more. I want like 3 more cloves. I'll go get it. Okay. All right, now we've got our roast in the crock pot. It's been seared, and now I've got my chopped garlic and onion in the fat here, getting caramelized. It's starting to look really nice. Doesn't take long, just a few minutes in here to release the sugars and get some depth of flavor in the onion and garlic. And I'd say I'm actually good with this the way it is right now. So we will pull this off of here. Notice I'm still using my spoon from before to limit the amount of dishes, and you can get a shot here. We got our roast pulled off, and I'm just gonna dump this all right on top, fat and all, get all that good dripping fat. I'm tempted to just even add a plop of lard or tallow in there with it because the venison is so lean. Put this back on here, and another little trick I like to do, if I can get this is our chicken bone broth that we made from a chicken we butchered this week. So every time we part out a chicken to use for the week for meals, we also make bone broth in the crock pot, and then we have this to use in soups and other recipes throughout the week. It's a great byproduct. Oh no, I can't stick my dirty spoon in here, and it's too gelatinous. So, never mind. Plop, plop. Look how great this bone broth is. That's how you know it's so good and full of collagen. It won't even come out with the jar. Oh, okay, plenty. So I was looking for like a cup or 2 cups. I'm putting it in the skillet here, not just to warm it up a little bit, but to kind of deglaze the skillet from the flavors of the roast being browned in there, and the garlic and the onion, any residual salt and pepper. While I'm thinking about it, we might as well throw some of our herbs in here, some fresh rosemary, throw some thyme in there too. Alright, kill that. This back over here. And, you know, now that I think about it, there was a nice blob of chicken fat at the top of that jar of chicken broth too, so that just added some nice fat in here. All right, so that's gonna go in our crock pot on medium, or you know, this has warm, low, and high. Want to do roasts like this on low. Some people call that the medium setting, but you know, because it's warm, low, high. But want to do low for 4 to 6 hours, and you can probably start checking it at 4 hours, so it's fork tender. This is a smaller one. It might be good at 4 or 5 hours. And then optionally, once it's done, where the roast is falling apart, we'll get back and show you this, but you could add in root veggies. You then could add some potatoes and carrots into that broth and have those cook for another 45 minutes to an hour and have that as part of your meal. Now we wait. So it's been about 5 hours, and I think it's ready to go. It's falling apart a little bit there, so that's the shoulder blade bone right there. But you can see when I say fork tender, I mean that the meat just falls apart like that, like a pot roast. And it's there. It's ready to go. See, here's a good shot. That's kind of the muscle right there. And you can just pull and shred the meat. So it's ready for dinner. Lizzie's gonna just make some mashed potatoes or something to go with it. I typically don't add veggies in here because I would rather have the broth to use in other stuff. If we put potatoes in here right now, it's gonna soak up a lot of that liquid. We're good, but we like to use this broth for soup, so we are ready for dinner. Something better than this fork. I just went ahead and pulled that meat out. It fell right apart. It's gonna have a lot of flavor. We're just gonna hit it with a little salt and enjoy this as a meal. We'll strain the broth and use it for our meal tomorrow. Jovi, what are you doing?
Rich, delicious broth.
Luscious. It would go great in some venison stew or soup. And then once you do that too, you find all the extra little meat bits that you
I have a helper.
missed.
She's making the footage really stable.
Nice. Yeah.
Any parting words on how delicious that was?
That was kind of burp. Bye.